It's time, of course, for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race.
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. Up ahead, experience a full race with full simulation from the cockpit. No anti-lock brakes, no traction control, no driving line, fully manual pit stops, and simulation, wear, and damage. We drive with a Fanatec Formula V2 wheel and pedals. We also use Track IR5 for driving from the cockpit. Let us know what you think of the race and comment below. Give us a like and consider subscribing. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. Do not adjust your device. We are having some audio difficulties right now that will be corrected just momentarily. Now back to the race here at Imola. You can see here that we are starting in 17th place. Not where we really wanted to start. However, there was weather during the weekend and we do expect weather for the race. So what we have is a wet weather setup, which is not very fast, and that's why we're starting off from the back of the pack again.
Again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more in.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So here is our strategy with a 2-stop, 2 reds and 1 yellow at the end. And again, we do expect weather during the race, so all of that can be just thrown out the window. We just want to make sure that we get onto our reds at the start of the race, and then we will adjust our tire choices as the weather comes on. So we're in for 63 laps here around Imola with a track length of just under 5 kilometers. We should be able to do just over 300-kilometer race, and the lap record here is 1 minute 15 seconds. 0.484, and that was back in 2020 by Lewis Hamilton. Now looking on from the cockpit, you can see here that it's partly cloudy. It is bright and sunny right now. Again, we do expect weather for the race, but everything's looking good. And we do have a kind of wet setup, so we'll see how that does at the beginning of the race. Here we go. Starting off now in our formation lap. Lights are green.
Clutch bite is good. Gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres.
Now from the start-finish line.
The tyres and brakes throughout the lap.
This little left right here is turn 1. The second left is turn 2, which is kind of a chicane here with turn 3. Turn 4 here to the left, and you'll want to avoid those curbs as it will throw you out to the outside. We'll come into turn 5 and turn 6, another chicane.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Down to the hairpin of the track, and it's turn 7. Very slow left-hander, maybe 1 or 2. And up the hill to the right is turn 8. Turn left here down the hill. Turn 9, turn 10, turn 11. Turn right up the hill is turn 12. And then we'll quickly turn left here to turn 12. And to a very tight chicane here through 14 and 15. We'll be using that runoff area a lot later on. Turn 16 here just under the bridge to the right. Turn 17 here to the left. And then you'll want to prepare for turn 18 as it will open up to the main straight. There is a little kink here just after the pit entry, and that is turn 19. As we approach our starting grid, we'll wait for the cars to stage and wait for the red lights to come on, and then it's a go when they are off.
Never get that right.
Well, it's a go, and there's a lot of tire smoke. So through turn 4, we are back to 19th place. The starts are usually very crowded, and it's best to just stay clear of the other cars, just to keep the car safe from damage. So we lost another place for the Mercedes. I believe he is starting in the back simply because of a penalty. So into lap 1, we're just trying to stay clear.
Bad entry.
Turn 17. Turn 18. As we exit onto the main straight. The only DRS zone on the whole track. So we are still fighting with Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel just in the back. Again, our goal here is to stay clear of all the traffic and any possible accidents. Straight to the very tight chicane of 14 and 15. We are looking back from the Mercedes at the 66, racing with Sebastian Vettel just behind. Down the main straight again, past the start-finish line. Down at turn 5, turn 6 to the right, and to the hairpin of turn 7. Again, a very slow 1 or 2nd gear. Now we have a car coming back. I believe that is one of the Williams. I don't know why he fell back so quickly. I don't see any damage on his wings or his car. It's possible that he may have just fallen off the track just momentarily, and I believe that is Latifi. So that's going to create a little distance from us and the Alfa Romeo in the back. And I believe Sebastian just got around him. Down the main straight.
Terrible exit. Little hesitation coming out.
No, that is Lance Stroll behind us in the other Alfa Romeo. And I believe that he and his teammate Sebastian Vettel had gotten into a little wing slapper. And I think they both had to come in for a wing change. And Sebastian Vettel is now 24 seconds behind. No, I think if Stroll had broken or replaced the wing, he would not be this close. So I think it's just Vettel that was unfortunate with the wing replacement or damage. So Lance Stroll here is giving us a good challenge. Just ahead of us in the Alfa Romeo is Valtteri Bottas, the red and white car. Turn 4 here to the left. And a very swift left and right for 5 and 6. So the weather from above, it's a little bit hazy on the ground here. Sun is still bright. So we don't expect the rain right now. Turn 14 and 15. Just ahead of us, you can see there that Valtteri just made his way around Alex Albon. So we've got our DRS swing open, and so does the car ahead of us. Turn 4. So turn 7, the hairpin is actually very fortunate as we do have positive camber when we come up. And that's going to help the car grip in the slow turn. Now climbing through 12 and 13 is usually very difficult. There's usually a lot of loss in traction. I think for F122, it's kind of mellowed out a little bit, but I remember in 20 and 21 that you had to be very slight on the throttle just to get out of 13. So down the straight again, I think you got a shot there. You can see that there is some paint missing from the side of our car. I don't know which cars we've actually had run-ins with at this point of the race, but it shows damage on our paint. The car does not indicate any damage as of yet, so we'll just keep going with the way it's going right now. So right behind Alex Albon in the Williams. Turn 10, turn 11, and turn 12. Very tricky area here. Again, the very quick chicane of 14 and 15. We are in the toe of the Williams. We have a look inside, it's just not enough room. Well, we're to lap 8 now. You can see that there are clouds are building in the sky above. Still pretty sunny down here though. That definitely was not the proper way through the chicane of 14 and 15. Here we are to start lap 9. We should be on the toe of the Williams just ahead. Again, we have our DRS and our ERS activated. Still not enough room. He is a little bit faster on the straight than we are. Meanwhile, we have Lance Stroll very close behind us. So on and off the track again to make our way past the Williams of Nicholas Latifi. Downhill on the turn 17. Little excursion on the gravel. Now he is still pretty close so that he's able to activate his DRS. But again, he's just a little too far this time. on board with the 66, looking back at the Williams and the Alfa Romeo in back. Past the start-finish line through 2 and 3, and turn 4 here to the left.
Very nice there.
Now all of these chicane complexes means that you have to have your timing just right. And that's what makes this track difficult.
Marginal on the fuel. But still pretty early in the race.
Lap 12 now of 63. We are in 18th place. Jumping over the curbs. Timing is totally off that time through. And you can see there that there are those big yellow curbs through the chicane sections. And if you drive over them, it does lift your wheel off the ground, and you'll have to wait for the car to touch back down and regain grip. And that's what's going to ruin your timing, so you want to avoid those. In most cases, the yellow curbs will do that. Yellow curves again into 12 and out through 13. This little uphill here is very difficult in the past, as again, you'd have to be very careful with the traction going up. Remember in F1 2020 and 21 that you usually have to let the third gear run out in order to shift into fourth gear so that you don't lose traction going through 12 and 13. And that was something that you just had to train yourself to do. Turn 9. Turn 10. Many times when you go through turn 9 through turn 10, you'll usually run out very wide to the right and drive on the apron. Sometimes both wheels come off, and that's totally alright. Same thing here with 14 and 15 on the right there. You'll see that a lot of cars will be driving on the apron. They have made the curve a little bit higher now so that if you do that too often, you will damage the under tray of the car. Past the pit entry.
Okay, this is Mark. There's a group of slower cars coming up ahead of you. Box, we're coming in this lap.
So there is our signal. We are expecting to take these off after lap 14. And usually 14, 15 laps is a very long time for a set of reds. There we are, off again. At this point, the soft tires or the red tires are usually not very grippy anymore, and under stress you'll find that you'll be pushing out or understeering and sliding out as you go through the turns. So the more wear that they have on them, the more careful you have to be, the more you have to slow down. Here we are coming in for our first stop. Our strategy requires another set of reds. And we are expecting the rain near the middle to the end of the race. You can see that it's definitely overcast now, so we do expect the rain sometime soon. Even if we only get 8 to 10 laps out of these red tires with the rain coming, it'll be definitely worth it to have changed out or started with the reds. Now again, according to Formula 1 rules, as long as you have changed into wet weather tires, whether it's intermediate or the full wets, after you've done that, the requirements for the required set of tires for the race is out the window, so you can use whatever tire you want. And if you have a set of reds or even a bunch of used reds, you can use those. Turn 12 and 13.
Richard's in the pits. Richard is in the pit lane now.
14 to the right, 15 to the left, again very wide to the right, riding on the apron. And I found that even after just half a lap or even before one lap with a set of reds, they'll usually start to become very grippy and perform very well. You will start to see them fall off eventually after about 8 laps of use. And they'll be manageable until about lap 12 or lap 13, in which case you'll be planning how to get off of them. So lap 16, after our first pit stop, we are back in 20th place. We are 6 seconds behind our teammate Richard Verschure. We are still ahead of Lance Stroll, who is just right behind us, and again Sebastian Vettel, who's 20 seconds behind. Again, I believe he did have a wing repair or wing change, and that is why he is far back at the beginning of the race. Now at the front of the race, you can see there that Max Verstappen is in the lead, Charles Leclerc, but near the front is actually Mick Schumacher in 17th place. I believe he has not stopped yet, and that's maybe why. Mick Schumacher and the Haas that he's driving in are usually cars that we race with in the back of the pack. Left through turn 9, just a little bit over the curb. Cleanly through turn 10. 11 to the right, 12 to the right. Little turn here to the left, and that is turn 13. So lap 17, as we are coming on to start lap 18, we are in 20th place. We do have a clear track ahead of us. And just up ahead is our teammate. Again, for the sake of career, you don't want to finish behind your teammates, so he is our target right now. At this point in the season, we don't have a rival just yet.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
So appearing now on your screen are raindrops. Still very few.
The gap to the car in front is 6.3 seconds.
And we are catching our teammate by about a second a lap. Definitely overcast now, and you can see that we had raindrops on the windscreen. However, rain is still not visible on the track. And we are going to continue on with a set of reds. I believe we are in our 5th lap with them, so we don't expect to be at their peak of grip until about 7 or 8, lap 7 or 8 of use. And I believe that we are due to change out of them at about lap 28, so the rain can hold off until then. Big sand trap coming out of 18.
6 seconds to the next car. 6 seconds.
So I think we may have been losing time, a couple of seconds at least, to our teammate, Richard Boucher. I think the beginning of the rain may have something to do with it, and you can see that there are raindrops on the windscreen. We still don't see tire spray, so traction should still be pretty good. Turn 12, turn 13. Again, you can see a lot of damage to our paint, but the indicator does not show any damage to the car itself. I think back in F1 20 and 21, your barge board would have been damaged. And those were usually pretty flimsy bits of carbon fiber attached to the car. So lap 21 of 63, we are in 20th place, 8 seconds behind our teammate. very visible that the clouds have rolled in. We are expecting the rain at any moment. There is a little bit of drizzle, but again, not enough to make the track very slippery. Here we are taking a look at some of the pit stops because of the drizzle. I think some of the teams are coming in. You can see there that the Mercedes, for example, has switched on to the intermediates. And most cars behind them will usually start to switch on. We have just passed the pit lane, and we are now through 2 and 3. So if we are going to make a pit stop, we will still have to finish this lap. You can see there that on the HUD there is a change in strategy available for us.
There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
And I believe that change in strategy is going to be the change into the intermediates. We have 10 seconds left to decide. However,
Alright, we're getting very close to the crossover point now. Stay out if you have the pace, but as soon as you hit the limits, come in and we'll put the inters on.
however, when I was driving, there was no looking at the HUD and making a decision. I think you can tell that the other cars have come in already for the intermediates, and that's what we must do.
Coming in for his stop.
I am going to go for another lap.
This lap.
There we are, some cars just coming out of the pits, having changed out of their dry tires into the intermediate rain tires. Now, it's not quite slippery yet. I have not experienced really sliding off. And again, the track is starting to look wet, but there is no tire spray. So a little wide there coming into 12. There may be some noticeable loss in grip. And you can see that I do have a train of cars behind me, and all of these people were the ones that came in and changed out of their dry tires. You can see everyone just behind us with intermediates on, and they are able to drive a little bit faster than us now that the track is getting wet. So now would be the time to come in. Let's see if the 66 does come in. There we are, looking over our strategy as we come into the pits. We are going to change into a new set of tires, and these will be the intermediates. And these will be distinguishable by the green lettering and the green stripe around the outside. Quick changeover. Just on time as we come out, you're now able to see the tire spray coming from the tires. So that just indicates more that there is more water on the track. Here we are looking back at one of the Mercedes. He's definitely going to make his way around us. He is a faster car, but we are both on the intermediates. Definitely a lot of water on the track now. Through 14 and 15. So somehow we were able to stay in sight with the Mercedes just ahead of us. But he was so much faster at getting around that maybe now he's having more difficulty in the rain. And that would be George Russell. You can see there he is in 20th place. We are back down to 21st. And at this point everybody should have made their tire changes onto the intermediates. Lap 26 of 63. We are starting to lose sight of the Mercedes, and he had just gone around Lance Stroll. So driving in the rain at this part of the race, I didn't notice too much difficulty in handling with the car. You do have to be a little bit more careful or gentle with the braking and accelerating and turning and so on. But it is here at turn 18 where I found that you have to be most careful as you're coming onto the straight. But making that sharp left, you didn't want to be sliding out into the gravel because you would lose a lot of time here. Also in the chicane to 14 and 15, exiting 15, again, you had to kind of just wait a little bit to get back on the throttle as you wanted your weight to be put back squarely onto the wheels after the chicane. Here we are tussling with one of the Alfa Romeos, and this would be Lance Stroll. Now he had been recently passed by the Mercedes ahead of us, so we are catching him and we are going a little bit faster than him in the rain. So recklessly we go around the outside and manage to make it stick. car very carefully out of 18. As you can see now that a successful exit out of 18 will get you this track space between the car behind. So lap 28 of 63, it appears Kevin Magnussen had come in. If you remember, he was in the top 10 at one point. Now he's back down to 21st. And I believe he had a late stop for a set of intermediates. Still a good medium rain, as you can see the water on the track, but it's not a downpour. So we don't quite yet have an occasion for the full wet weather tires. There, with that shot coming in, you can see that we have a big chunk out of the nose of the car broken off. Still, there's no indication of damage on the car at this point, so we just keep driving on. Now we've put quite a lot of space between us and the Alfa Romeo behind. There was, however, in that last long shot, you could see there was a different colored car ahead of him. And I believe it may have been red. It's not going to indicate on the timing that we have on screen, but it's possible that the leaders are coming to lap us now at this point.
And the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up.
Again, we are lap 30, so a little bit more than half of the race left to go.
But I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
So coming in through turn 11, you saw there on the light box that there was a blue light flashing, and there's another one there on the left coming into 14 and 15. So there is a faster car coming up behind us. That will be the leaders. Quick look back to see who it was. The car that I have to be concerned about is Lance Stroll, and his car would be green, but those two cars coming around here on our right is the leaders of the race, and that's Verstappen and Leclerc in the red Ferrari. We managed to just step out of the way so they can continue on. There's Lance Stroll coming through 18. So ahead of us by 16 seconds is George Russell. And that is the Mercedes that passed us quite some time back. 16 or 14 seconds is not too bad. However, it's insurmountable in these conditions. So in order for us to get by or get close to him at this point of the race, he would have to make a stop or make a mistake and go off track. We can finish the race, or this race can finish on this set of tires, as the intermediates can go quite a long ways through the race. So that is a variable that we're going to have to consider. And you can see now that there's definitely very little to no tire spray coming out of the tires on the wet track, just a little bit. So it appears that the rain or the drizzle may have slowed down or stopped to nothing, and that's definitely good news. Visually, the drying track is not quite there yet. It may within a lap or two. We'll wait and see. But you'll usually see that the common track or common area where the cars usually drive on will start to dry up, and they will look darker than the wet areas of the track. Turn 8, turn 9.
Available on the MFD. Richard's in the pits. Richard is in the pit lane now.
So there is a new strategy available. However, I was not able to take a look at it or review it. And I don't want to get stuck putting on another set of intermediates or even wet tires at this point, because it does appear that the track is drying.
Okay, we're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
So I believe now at this point we are set up for a set of dry tires. And I believe that's why our teammate had been in as we passed the
check your MFD for
pit lane.
a new strategy option.
So here's our strategy. It indicates that we are going to change into, I believe, another set of intermediates.
Okay, so the car ahead's come in and fitted the soft tyre.
Here we are coming in to change out our tires. It is lap 33. I can't imagine that we are going to be putting on intermediates at this point. Let's have a look at what they are. And they are the yellow tires, which is good at this point.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled. That stop was slower than we ideally wanted to see.
At this point, lap 34, we should be able to finish the race. We will be marginal on the set of yellows by the last closing laps. But we're in the back of the race, so we've got to give it a go, whatever we got. Now ahead of us, oh, there's Alex Albin. He has stopped on the track. And he is determined as a DNF.
Overtaking through the yellow flags.
I believe he's right there to our right. So lap 34, we are in 18th place. We have a couple of cars right behind us. You can see with the proximity indicators. There's the Haas. And then we have a Ferrari right here. I believe we are racing with the Haas, and that would be Kevin Magnussen. This Ferrari here, we are not racing with. We are giving him a blue flag, and we will let him go. So when you get a blue flag, you always look back to see who's behind you. It's very possible that if you just pull over, the car that you're racing with will just come around. And this is racing, so catching up and getting by is very difficult. Now you can see there that Magnussen is giving the Red Bull a hard time.
Okay, blue flag conditions create a gap.
So he finally got by. Now the Red Bull is up to me. I quickly let him by. I believe that there's an indicator there that we have a 5-second penalty, and that may be a blue flag violation, although I don't know exactly when it happened. There we are. Magnussen gets by from 11 to 12. At this point of the race, we're trying to determine where that 5-second penalty came from. So lap 36, 19th place, we are racing with Kevin Magnussen just ahead of us. Here we are down the main straight. We jig left, we jig right. Left again, and we are past from 2 to 3. Now the next car ahead that we are racing with is Nicholas Latifi, and at this point with his advantage, I don't believe that he had come in yet for a set of dry tires, and if he did, that was why. Well, he couldn't have come in yet because he's 30 seconds ahead. So still racing here with Kevin Magnussen and the Haas. Down a very long straight here at Imola. Magnussen and Lance Stroll just under our wing. Through 5 and 6 now. And down to the hairpin of turn 7. Magnussen very close at the exit of 13. And you can see there that we lost about a second to Latifi ahead of us. And it's because we're having to drive defensively against these two cars behind us. Here we are down the main straight. Magnussen is using the DRS with his wing open. I don't have that capability. And he gets by very quickly. Looking back now at the 66 and Lance Stroll just behind from Kevin Magnussen and the Haas. Definitely a much faster car. He does have the red tires on. So he should have more grip, and it's definitely visible here. Back on board with the 66. Track is dried out after a very short drizzle and rain period. We are back on a set of dry tires, trying to chase down Kevin Magnussen. Quick look at the timing on the upper left of your screen indicates that we have a 5-second penalty, and I believe that may have been due to a blue flag violation. I think when one of the Red Bulls came around, it was not clearly visible to me.
Trailing our teammate by 31.7 seconds.
So still about 30 seconds behind Richard for sure. Now through that complex of 4, 5, and 6, I think in practice 1 and 2 we found that we could exploit that section a little bit by using the ERS, and unfortunately, because we are not on the red tires at this point, it's not working out so well. The advantage is not so clearly visible, and we're not able to make or gain any time in that section. Sometimes those factors change based on the weather. Obviously, as it is overcast, the track is cooler. I do have less grippy tires, as these are the mediums, the yellow striped tires. And I believe the yellow tires are lapping about 1.5 to 1.85 seconds slower per lap than, let's say, a red tire would. Two and 3 again.
He's going to have to stop again.
So that was in reference to Magnussen in front, who is just driving away. He does have his red tires. Unfortunately, with the laps remaining in the race, I don't believe that he'll be able to finish with that set of tires, so we do expect him to come in for another pit stop. Through the chicane of 14 and 15, you can see now that the sun is back out at this point of the track. Turn 16. So hopefully the track times will start to drop again. Lap 41 of 63, we are in 19th place. 4 seconds now behind Magnussen. Our teammate quite ways ahead, and I believe it may have been due to him coming in to change out of the intermediates and onto a set of dry tires about a lap ahead of us. Lap 42 with just 21 laps ahead till the end of the race. We're waiting to see how this shakes out. I believe there are still a couple of cars. I know at least one that has to change out of their red tires, so it's very possible that we will still move up in the race. I believe we are here for good with the 2 cars behind us, which are the Alfa Romeos of Stroll and Vettel. And if you had a good look, you could see that one of the Alfa Romeos, one of the Aston Martins are on reds. That car right there, the one that just passed, is on a set of yellows, and I think that is Vettel. So Lance Stroll, just behind us, is on a set of reds. He should be able to go faster, but he may not be able to finish the race on that set of tires.
That's Vettel. We're actually racing with him.
So Sebastian Vettel, who was at one point about 24-25 seconds behind in the very start of the race, I think due to a wing change, is now just ahead of us. And I think the advantage may have come from timely pit stops with the dry tires that he's got on now. I think we did lose a lot of time, and Stroll as well, who's right behind us, just waiting to change out into the dry tires. Surprisingly, we're able to stick with Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin just ahead of us. He is on a set of yellows as we are. But more surprisingly, Lance Stroll, who is on a set of red tires, who should have more grip, is falling behind. But I don't believe this car has been very fast throughout the race. Starting lap 45, the sun is very bright now. And a good look into Sebastian Vettel, but just not enough room to drive underneath into turn 2. Turn 19 to start lap 46. We are in 20th place. It has been a pretty good race, but I believe the fact that we are pretty far behind is due to the fact that we did not change into dry tires one lap sooner. And it does happen in Formula One. So it's still within reach of Sebastian Vettel ahead of us. A couple of advantageous turns and we could cut down that 2-second deficit. As we have just under 20 laps to go.
I don't really have anybody behind me.
Yes, at this point, Lance Stroll is not really challenging us for the race. He is 1.6 seconds behind, but there we are. There is the Mercedes of, I believe, that would be Lewis Hamilton coming to change out of a set of reds. And I believe he will be putting on another set of reds to finish the race. You can see there with the timing that another car had come in. Oh, we missed it. So there were cars on red tires knowing that they couldn't finish them. They couldn't finish the race with them. But they have come in and they had been able to go faster, so they are ahead of us at this point. There we are with Lance Stroll just behind us. He's trying to get every bit of value out of those soft red tires before they're worn out. He will not be able to finish the race with them on, and he will come in again for another set of tires. But if the race finished right now, we do have a 5-second penalty there, and you can see that he would end up being ahead of us. Very wide there, and over the little curves. Now from the nose cam of Lance Stroll, you can see that 66 is just ahead. Not very far away. Here he is coming in for a tire change. As we suspected, he would not make it to the end with this set of reds. And there is another car just way ahead there, just exiting the pit lane, that had come in and done the same thing. Definitely, if we would have changed into another set of reds after the rain tires, we would be in the same situation.
Okay, so the car behind's just come in. They're now on the soft tyre. Soft tyres on the car behind.
Now if you look at the timing on the upper left of the screen, you can see that we are ahead of Magnussen. And I believe it may be because he had also opted for red tires after the rain, and he was not going to finish the race. And our teammate has a DNF. For some reason, he may have stopped somewhere on the track. I don't see a yellow flag at this point, or even a safety car. So he may have successfully driven the car off and out of the way. You can see that he's falling back in timing. Fortunately, we have not had any terminal failures in the car. We've had transmission problems, turbo problems, and I believe the turbo that we have now is nearly worn. We are on our second second transmission for the season. I believe after race 2 or the beginning of race 3, we were starting to lose gears. Coming around to start another lap. We don't have any cars near us at this point to race with, so it's going to give us the opportunity to maintain our tires and keep them in good condition. Lap 51, we are in 18th place. So we moved up one place for the race. We do have a 5-second penalty, so we need to be able to keep Kevin Magnussen more than 5 seconds behind us. Right now he is 7.2 seconds behind.
Vettel's getting away.
So we only have 2 seconds to spare. Now if you look at the timing on the upper left, you can see that Vettel is 11 seconds ahead. So he is getting away. So on the lower right, you can see the wear that is on this set of yellows right now. And with just 11 laps to go, they are actually still in pretty good shape. And they should be manageable by the end of the race. That is, if we don't encounter somebody else to have to race with, because that would just have us wear our tires even more. Now, if you look at the indication on the steering wheel, you can see there that we have 3.28 extra laps of fuel available in the car, and that is about 0.6 seconds per lap of extra lap of fuel that we are carrying. So just the weight that we are carrying is losing time. And you can see now that Magnussen is 3 seconds behind. If the race were to end now, we would end up being behind him because of our 5-second penalty. Looking around the track, you can see that we're back to just slightly overcast weather conditions now. Shadows are not very visible, but slightly overcast is the optimal weather condition as the track stays dry. It also does not become too hot, which will actually improve our grip and should provide faster times if you've got the power for that. We are in back of the field in P18, so it's nearly meaningless at this point.
Our gap to the car in front is 13.1 seconds.
Just fortunate that it doesn't rain again. coming around past turn 19 again to end another lap. We have Kevin Magnussen just under our wing. He does have his DRS open. He should be able to get around, but he ran out of space. And you can see there that we have leaders just behind him. We are given the blue flag. You can see there the blue light in the light box. He lets them come around and he loses a lot of time. Waiting for 3 cars to come around. So he lost about 1.5 seconds letting those cars go by. I did let 2 go by already. We have 1 more right behind us, and that is the Alpine. I believe that is Fernando Alonso. Yep, there we are. And Magnussen was able to make up that time again. He is right under our wing. We are coming to end another lap, and we will be entering into the long straight after just a couple of turns. And we will find another opportunity to get by. Riding with Magnussen now, looking back or looking up at the 66. He's got a good run already, even before DRS. There we are, he should have his wing open. As he comes around, we have no answer for him. He's definitely just going faster than us.
To the car behind, 2 seconds.
I think that 2 seconds may be due to the blue flags and obviously having Magnussen come around. And I believe at this point Lance Stroll is about 19 seconds behind. So we're coming to end lap 57 of 63. Coming back from Magnussen, you can hardly see the 66 just behind. Coming into turn 2, turn 3. So turn 9 here at turn 19 here at Imola as we close another lap.
The gap ahead is 4.2 seconds.
So far, out of the last races that we've had so far this season, this is the most disappointing, as we're just not able to get very far. And the car is behaving well. We are not experiencing any failures with the transmission or suspension or even the hybrid components. But we just had very poor timing on pit stop. I think if you consider how Magnussen got by so fast and just drove away, and he's done that more than once during the race, I think he may have started off with a set of yellows and waited to change into a couple of reds to finish the race, and that's going to give him a lot of grip and speed. Just behind us, looking back, is the Red Bull and the Ferrari of the leaders. I think that should be Verstappen and Leclerc. So starting lap 60, I believe we have been lapped twice already by the front runners. And I think just coming into your picture there is the other Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. So coming to close off lap 60, you can see the timing on the steering wheel there that we are 0.3 of a second, well, 1/10 of a second now, faster than our fastest lap. So we are still racing and we are actually going a little bit faster.
That's so much extra fuel. Ridiculous.
In front is 8.6 seconds. Racing the car behind, let them pass when you can.
So coming to close lap 61, I believe this may be our last lap again, because we were lapped twice, and that is actually an Alfa Romeo behind us.
Okay, that's last week.
So that's the end of the race.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Not a very good race for us.
Terrible race. It was fun though.
It's a performance that our Emilia Romagna Grand Prix.
So perhaps a couple of lessons to take away from this race at Imola is fuel strategy, of course. We ended up with 3.6, maybe 3.7 extra laps of fuel. I think if we can cut that down, we would be gaining more time on the track. The other thing is that we were not able to look over our pit strategy while we were driving in the rain, which is kind of an added difficulty to the simulation of driving in a race car in weather. But again, that just makes for, I guess, more fun in the game. So not a good race for us again. At the end of 4 races, the next race we're looking forward to is in Miami. And we're definitely looking forward to major changes in fortune. We do have quite a lot of technology in development. They won't be quite online yet, but they are coming. So lots of exciting racing ahead. And again, thanks for watching the race at Driving Immersion. Let us know what you think of the race. Give us a like and consider subscribing for more simulation races ahead. We'll see you next time.